Hello. So, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on which time zone you're in or what time you're watching this particular video. This is hopefully going to be a quick update video. I use the word quick rather loosely because these updates tend to go on for a while, but I'm just going to get right into the meat of it. We're going to cover 4 separate sections, so feel free to skip whichever. I'll have a little timestamp you can click to skip any parts you're not interested in. So first part is just going to cover my present condition, so how I am health-wise. Part 2 is just going to discuss a few things in relation to the live stream that I've been doing, what's happened so far, and the videos that I've edited. Part 3 is just going to be a thank you to everyone who've supported me through Patreon and through PayPal. And the final is just a little bit to tie things up and a few concerns and a few things I'm looking forward to. So if I do ramble on, do apologise, I'm not really good at organising these types of things, so let's get stuck in with part 1, which is about me, so very egocentric. So this is just to discuss my conditions. So for anyone who has seen any previous quick update videos or has been tuning in during the live stream, you guys will already know my present health condition, which is making it quite difficult to do both my daytime job and to edit. I have cubital tunnel syndrome. You've probably heard of carpal tunnel syndrome, just think of this as the sister condition. The cubital tunnel syndrome affects the smallest finger on my hand, the ring finger, the wrist, the elbow and the shoulder. As I use a computer for a prolonged period of time, which I have been doing pretty much since as long as I can remember, but in my present state, if I use a PC for any number of hours, I eventually get pins and needles along the side of my small finger, ring finger and wrist. Eventually that becomes a throbbing pain and it just feels like pins and needles everywhere. If I work through that particular discomfort, it eventually leads to the inability to even clench a fist, so it's almost like the signals to the hand are just not working. Even when I'm not doing any computer related work, it's now become a bit more difficult to clench a fist, so it looks like whatever damage that is, no amount of rest is going to exactly put me back to where I was before. Now, I've had this condition for the most part since the start of the year, and it's been getting worse progressively. Now, it was towards the end of September that my doctor referred me to the neurology team, and it's taken them several months to get the paperwork filed off and for me to get a response. So I now have an appointment with the neurology team on the 7th of January, so it means for now I will just have to work through the pain. I manage it best by taking a combination of painkillers, regular breaks, and my employers have also gotten me a few pieces of equipment that just makes it easier to manage my condition whilst I'm there. This is one of the reasons why my streams are a bit more shorter and the videos are taking longer to be made. Editing puts a significant strain and I need to balance this. I can only do one 100%, so in this case I'm splitting the workload. If I wasn't working, I'd be able to edit pretty much non-stop with regular breaks, but because I'm doing my daytime job, I can't afford to edit as much or stream as long since it will affect my livelihood. So it's a bit of a balancing act, but things are becoming progressively more difficult. I often wake up early in the morning. It takes at least 30 or 40 minutes before I can properly get feeling back in my hands. And no, this is not a fapping innuendo before anyone's thinking it, but it genuinely takes time for motor function to properly return. This is extremely difficult, especially on a Sunday, as I work far earlier than normal and it's a 10-hour shift. It's also a Sunday, which makes it extremely busy, and with the Christmas and New Year period approaching, things are pretty hectic. So it's going to be difficult, but I am managing. That sort of covers my overall health condition. You also would have heard me mention that there's a few issues with regards to my family that I'm still working out. So if on the stream if I seem a bit more down than usual, it's just because some of those things are weighing on my mind. I'm not going to stop streaming because, full disclosure, it's one of the few things that I do in life that help keep my mind off the bad stuff, I guess is the best way to put it. So it allows me to not only enjoy the gaming that I do, but it acts as a very, very pleasant distraction for me. So it just makes life a lot less grim, I guess is the best way to put it. But yeah, so that's basically me covered for now. So we're going to move on to part 2. This just covers the things that I've been doing over the past month and a half or 2 months or so. So I've gotten into live streaming. The reason I did this essentially was I wasn't aware that at first YouTube had that facility, and the fact that it's built straight into YouTube, it allows me to interact with my viewers and subscribers pretty much instantaneously on a level that I normally wouldn't be able to, let's say through video comments or PMs or through email. So it also allows me to do what I like most, which is gaming, and it allows me to share it with you guys. So it seemed like a perfect fit. The reason why I didn't quite shift over to Twitch, even though I know it's the granddaddy of all streaming websites, is because I am playing on a private server of World of Warcraft. From what I've seen and from what I've heard, Twitch and Blizzard appear to have an agreement where if someone is streaming a private server, if it's not the retail version, they'll outright ban the account. It's not happened on YouTube, as I don't monetize the actual stream. In fact, I've disabled all monetization because of you guys supporting me through Patreon, but I'll get to that in a moment. But that's the reason why I've chosen YouTube as my platform for streaming. I don't know whether or not that stunts the growth of the stream, or whether or not I would do better if I did go to Twitch. It's hard to say, but that's what I've currently chosen. You'll also have seen that because I've been leveling on the vanilla server, I have recently hit level 60, so my focus now is going to gear up for some of the more endgame dungeons, help out some of the lower level guild members in the Guppy Academy guild, and in the meantime I will slowly transition over as well to Fallout 4, as I'm quite eager to give that game a go. I want to thank the Bunyip for actually purchasing that game for me via Steam and bestowing said gift upon the Guppy Overlord, so thank you so much for that. So I will slowly transition over to Fallout, so I will bounce a little bit back and forth, and once we have the numbers in WoW to do, you know, the 10-man dungeons and the raids and whatnot, I'll also do those more proactively. So hitting 60 was a pretty major milestone. So that sort of covers what the channel focus will be. Obviously you guys know the score with Dark Souls. I will stream when I've used up all the footage, so I often stream 3 or 4 hours of the playthrough. I will chuck that into Sony Vegas. I'll get rid of all of the stuff that is just fluff and give you pure content, and I'll release those in 20-minute chunks, well 15 to 20-minute chunks, and I am intending on finishing that, but as you guys know, with work plus my arms and plus the limited amount of time I have, the pace has slowed down, but as a result I'm able to release videos of a higher quality because I'm not rushing them or meeting any fictional timescale that I impose upon myself. So yes, that covers pretty much part 2, so we shall move on to part 3. So part 3 covers the bit which I'm most excited about, and that is my Patreon and PayPal. Full disclosure, never thought I was going to get to this particular point. The support you guys have given me has completely exceeded, in 1 month by the way, everything that I earned via Google's ad revenue system. Because of the donations I've received so far, and I am continuing to receive, I have now disabled all ads on everything. There's a few exceptions with certain videos where YouTube couldn't action it quite yet, but it will go into effect. So one thing I can guarantee is any newer videos and any live streams belch will have no ads whatsoever, and the people that you have to thank are those who have pledged to my channel. So to go through the names, I've got Distora23, Jacob Van Mechelen, so sorry for the mispronunciation, Razor Blizz, Gubiak, Lautius, Jania Dark, Kane, Brian Block, Wendy Crescent, Michael Cooper, Zach Toriu, Stick Aaron, Toomsy, Struan Makitosh, The Bunyip, Triedge, Zane, and Suit Gomez. I can't put it really into words without making it sound insincere or unbelievably cheesy, so I always say it the same way, which is thank you. The donations you guys have given has allowed me to break away from those ads, and it always gets in the way of folks watching videos, unless you are using AdBlock, you traitors. All jokes aside, thank you! But yes, this eliminates a very annoying element. No one likes ads. It's kind of why I like Netflix. No bollocks ads, you just log in, watch stuff, and jobs are good. Now I said jokingly, several times, and half seriously as well, that if my Patreon/PayPal ever got me to the point where I was earning as much or close enough to what my daytime job was, I would seriously consider leaving my daytime job. If Patreon reached the midway point, I would genuinely consider doing that. Because, one, anyone can attest to this. If someone said, would you like to be paid on a monthly basis for what you enjoy doing most? 9 times out of 10, well, 10 times out of 10 it's got to be, The answer's going to be yes. Nothing beats that feeling. Sometimes I spend hours doing something like a Dark Souls video. My arms can be a little bit wrecked by the end of it, but when the video goes up, people watch, I get the likes, I get the comments, nothing beats that feeling. And when I see Patreon come in, I think, I did that. That was through stuff I enjoyed. And that's for folks who've shared in what I enjoyed the most. Nothing beats that feeling. And this is the reason I've set up Patreon and PayPal. The reason I chose Patreon specifically is the fact that it gives you guys total control. Now, I've had some folks who initially put down that they wanted to donate, but then after reassessing their current situation, thought, hang on a minute, maybe right now might not be the best time, and they've had to change that decision. This is why I love Patreon, because it allows you to reassess immediately. It always charges you at the start of each month, and if after a while you think, maybe I should cancel or maybe I should reduce, you have that total control. Segueing to that, I will say one thing. As much as I'm grateful for folks who've donated whatever amount, it can also not only be humbling but terrifying as well. Now, if you've got some reservations about decreasing the amount or cancelling it, don't. You have total control. It's the reason I chose Patreon. So if at any point you want to reduce or cancel it, please do. For those of you who are not sure what Patreon is, I will have a little clip playing right about now in the background. It just allows you to donate to a content creator directly for whatever project they have. You simply sign up like you would with any web page. You click the individual who you want to pledge. You have the pledge button. Enter the amount that you want. If you've got a PayPal account, it will come straight out of that. If you have your credit or your debit card, it will come straight out of that. Once that is set up, it is pretty much automated, and it's why I chose Patreon. The key thing is that it allows you complete control. Instantly. That's the reason why I chose that. But the key thing here is that if it continues to go the way it has, and it has been steadily increasing with a few bumps here and there, Patreon have made some changes where it reflects the most accurate figure. You guys can see exactly what I'm earning. Everything that's been given so far is still sitting in my PayPal account. Will likely go towards my next gaming system because I have a bit of a potato at the moment. This will allow me to play some of the newer games that will be coming out for, the next gen stuff. So thank you is all I can say, and for those who are considering and will hopefully take the plunge, I want to thank you guys as well, because if I was able to genuinely quit my daytime job and do this around the clock, there aren't really words properly that can express really how happy I'd be, because it would remove a massive shackle. The things that really keep me down, everyone can attest. Most folks don't do their current daytime job because they want to. They do it because they need to, and that's the simple gist of it, really. What can I say? I like my shekels. But yes, thank you so much, guys, for those that have pledged. This now leads to part 4, the final bit. A few concerns and tidbits for the future. Basically a quick summary, essentially, which is arms are bad, they get better, they get bad again. I will potentially have a resolution 7th of January when I get to see the neurology department, so fingers crossed. There are some real life family related issues which are making things a little bit difficult for me, so if I seem down during a stream or not as active as I usually am, I do apologise. But one thing I do want to make clear, streaming and editing, one of the few things that get my mind out of a lot of the negative stuff. I am someone who has suffered from depression for a very long time, and issues in relation to anxiety, which I've come leaps and bounds from where I was in my early 20s, and live streaming has actually helped in many ways. So if there are days where I don't quite seem like myself, there are reasons. So all I can do is just ask for your patience with me if I'm not quite on my game as I normally would be. Obviously, big thanks to folks on Patreon and via PayPal. I really do hope it continues the way it has. Perhaps one day you guys can liberate me from my woes, fingers crossed, and I will continue to make videos to the best of my ability, and I hope to see you guys around, whether it's the live stream or whether it's over the course of the videos that I release. So yeah, pretty good waffle. It's allowed me to detox on some of the things that were weighing on my mind, so thanks for tuning in. And remember, as always,
guppies and fish cakes.